Hey y'all. So, that was a fun logo, wasn't it? It's inspired by similar logos, TV, idents, commercial bumps from the 70s and 80s. Things a lot like this. And I hope you liked that little preview of an artist page from the MCN, we can call it, the Murderloft Creator Network. I'm not going to show more of it because that page is definitely going to change, but if you want to go back and see kind of an idea of the things that I have planned for it, just go back to the beginning and pause the video and you can see all the little bits and pieces. There's two customizables so far. There's two customizable columns where you can kind of segment your work into the different categories of things that you do. And then the far right, there's three columns on the entire page, and then the far right is the social media feed. The pages are kind of busy right now, and I'm not really sure how I want to orient the rest of the things, but I feel like that was a pretty good start to just get all of the ideas for this out of my head into some kind of format, some kind of visual format. Really exciting to work on that stuff. And there's other pages I've made too. I still have to work on clearly the main page of the site, which I'm particularly interested in getting started on. Part of the reason why I started on the artist pages was because I can show those off to the people I'm interested in, kind of the first batch of artists that I want to try and get, like, that I would ideally try and get on this kind of network. So that's why I started there. Usually in my interface design efforts, I would not start at that page. I would start at the home and work from there, starting at the home after I have a whole list of features. I'm not following that process this time, so yeah. There's still no real guarantee it's going to happen. It's more unlikely to happen than likely to happen, to be honest. But I'm not going to stop working on it for as long as I can work on it. I really would love for it to be a thing, to be able to find really awesome creators in Los Angeles. I just think it's a worthwhile effort. So I'm making those interfaces in a program called Figma. Figma is a primarily vector design program, and it is web-based. There is an app that you can download to your computer, but the app itself is a web app, meaning that it shows web information. You can access Figma through a browser if you'd like, and that means that all the content in Figma is up on Figma servers in the cloud. So you can get all of your design work pretty much wherever you are, as long as you can log into Figma. It's very convenient. It's almost, in that regard, almost exactly like DeviantArt Miro, which me and a few other people at DeviantArt made in 2010. So to see now in 2018, this pro-level design tool come out with kind of similar features and things that we had planned, then I don't know. I just think it's really cool to think that we were so ahead of our time with that. Like, I just thought that was really cool. But I'm using Figma to design this, and if you don't know what Figma is, here's a short little video kind of explaining it from Figma's point of view.
Take a look at our app. Impressive, right? but we're already designing 2.0 and using something new called Figma. It's a design tool with everything we need to design interfaces more effectively. And even better, it lives in the cloud. That way, the whole team can work on the project together at the same time and get the latest versions no matter where they are.
I'm not even in the office today.
I was thinking something like so.
Let's make sure we stick with our brand palette.
Right.
I'll just tighten it up a touch. There we go. How does it look on the bigger screen size?
Gorgeous.
I'm just gonna drop in here for a sec and get some measurements so I can start coding this up.
See, we don't need email or Sketch, Relay, Zeppelin, Red Pinner, or whatever else. Designing, commenting, sharing, storing, everything is all right here. Figma. Impressive, right?
So something else I'm also using Figma for is this freelance project that I'm working on right now. I can't say who it's for or really what the project is, but there are points at which the client has to come into the file and view it alongside me. Now obviously they're not here at Murderloft, but there's a collaboration aspect to Figma, meaning that we all have a link to the file and we can just go to the file and look at it, and it shows who is in the room, as it were, looking at the file. They can edit the file, they can do whatever they want to the file, the same thing as I can. The problem with that is, like, Figma had designed it for designers to be able to get together and kind of work on stuff all at once, and the engineers can get in there and kind of look at it and stuff like that, but I don't think they ever envisioned managers getting in there and just kind of lounging, or just like opening the window, putting it on a TV screen, and then just going off and doing other stuff. Some people have no problem designing in front of other people. I am not one of those people. I have an issue with the art director hunch, as it were, where an art director or a creative manager of sorts will come just kind of like peek over your shoulder and just kind of point out things that you could change about your work as you're doing it. Just like, no, that needs to be over there, different color, move that, rotate it a little bit, put this, rearrange this, that text should say this. It's the most annoying thing ever. And with Figma, you can do that remotely. Not that anyone is intentionally doing it, but it feels like it. And in my case, I haven't been getting comments back. Not that like I'm expecting them. I'm saying like there haven't been comments coming along with this hunching. It's just like the person I'm working for is just sitting there in the room, apparently watching or something like that. And it just makes me really uncomfortable. Like, I really wish that I had control over whether anyone else could come into the file and look at it. Like, if while I'm working, I could just check a box that says keep this private for now, or like put in something that says keep this private for the next 30 minutes or something like that. That would be so much more helpful just to like my general psyche of work. Like, when I work, it's all cohesive in the end, but up until that point, it is an absolute mess. So like things are everywhere, and I'm just like, it's not that I'm scattered, but if you just happen to take little peeks into my process without seeing the end result, you would kind of wonder how I got to where I am. And, you know, I kind of am really self-conscious about that part of my process, but up till now, I was the only person that ever saw it. So it's kind of introducing this new dynamic where, like, I can work in an office with people, but when I have someone sitting there on their laptop able to see my work as long as they have an internet connection, meaning that if they have one of those little cell phone wireless internet packs, they can be anywhere and watching my work and commenting on it and asking me to edit certain things as I'm working on it. And it's just a really unsettling thing to have to deal with. So that's all I have to talk about today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.